Bob.
Bob the octopus.
You have to hug Bob.
I already hugged Bob.
Hug Bob again.
Okay,
Bob loves hugs.
I'm hugging Bob again.
Isn't he great? You're squishing his face, bro.
But he's so soft. I just want to lean into him.
Yeah, that's true. He's so good at hugs.
I wonder if Bob likes burritos.
You know, I bet Bob does. How do octopuses eat? Octopuses? Octopi?
Well, they have a beak.
A beak?
Yeah, I know, right?
What?
Like they have they have a mouth. I don't know where it is exactly.
Right there.
Well, I don't know if it's where like a face would normally be.
For some reason, I thought that their mouth was like underneath all their tentacles. Like.
Right, but that's also where they ink.
Maybe they just have like one hole where they like. I don't know how that works.
I have no idea. And welcome to the Topical Burrito, episode dos. Yeah,
that means two in Spanish.
Yeah, and we're a burrito channel. That's what we talk about on this podcast. Anyway, I am Andrew.
I'm B.
And yeah, here we are. That was an interesting beginning to that. So B, how have you been?
I have been. What's the word for I don't sleep? Insomniatic.
Yes.
Is that a word?
I don't think so, but it makes sense.
Insomniatic. Yeah. I am claiming that as a word. I hope it doesn't mean anything awkward.
Oh my gosh. I can't imagine that it would. I don't know. Like, although weirdly, whenever I think of the word insomnia, it's I always think of like night terrors or paralysis demons and stuff like that. I don't know why. Just like insomnia feels like such a horror word, like a dark horror word to me. Maybe it's because it's like slightly related to Amnesia, which is a horror series. But yeah, no idea.
I associate it with depression.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
A lot of my, some of my friends in high school had insomnia, and it was interesting to see how they kind of dealt with it over the years. So, yeah. Anyway, enough about the problems in our life. Well, no. All right.
Random word generator time.
But yeah, if you have ever listened to this before, you know that we have our beautiful computer over here with our random word generator, and we have it generate a random word as per the name, and then we talk about it and see where it goes.
Woo! Anyway. Please don't generate a weird word.
Oh my gosh. We have had problems with that before. So, computer, are you ready to generate the word? I'll take that as a yes. Okay, let's drum roll.
Oh, drum roll.
Drum roll and
even.
Okay, we can work with this.
That makes me think of the number 2, because 2 is even. 2
is even. Well, actually, it is even, but it's the only even number that's a prime number as well, which is really interesting. Because it's such a low number. It's in
the prime of its life.
Oh, if only 2-year-olds were in the prime of their life, that would be terrifying.
That would be terrifying. Oh my gosh.
Imagine if you were 2 years old and you were in the prime of your life.
That would be awful. Oh, goodness.
Even numbers are interesting because they aren't odd.
Oh my gosh. Even numbers are interesting.
Oh. Even numbers.
Even numbers.
But can an even number be even more even?
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, I guess when you think about it, the most even number possible is a number that can divide into the most other even numbers.
Infinity?
Yes, but it's weird because it has to be a very specific number that is an even number. Because if you just say infinity, then it doesn't matter how high you get, there's always one number after that.
Oh.
So I don't know. It's whatever
math?
number you can think of the highest. It doesn't matter.
I'm not in school anymore. I don't need to do math and think about numbers.
But B, math is fun.
No.
Well, okay, fine. No, but like some math can be fun. Like actually, when I was in college and also when I was in high school. I was always interested in trying to figure out certain ins and outs of math. For instance, for a while, there was one particular formula that I tried to figure out was to try to get x squared without using multiplication. And not just you add x as many times as the number is high or whatever, but like to actually figure out a formula to figure out no matter what number you put in there, that would always work.
Interesting.
And eventually I did figure out some kind of formula, but then eventually I expanded to do x to the power of y to see how far could I go with this kind of thing. And it got really convoluted really quickly, where I had like basically, what's that one triangle of numbers? It's the one that's like 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's some kind of math triangle thing. Anyway, I used that in my formula as kind of like a matrix thing to kind of figure out different values that I could use. And it was really crazy complicated, but it was fun. Because it was always fun to try to figure out, like, okay, what's the next step? What's the next thing I can do?
I got you. I guess math is fun only when it's something I care about. So, like, if I'm calculating, like concert costs and stuff, I don't know, that's kind of fun to me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what really you care about.
Yeah, because I care about concerts. So I'm willing to do math to be able to go to concerts.
Yeah, exactly. And like for me, like I guess it is more directly related to math, but sometimes I like to find out kind of the more interesting workings of math in a way. Like there's this one YouTube channel that I subscribe to called Numberphile, which does a lot of that kind of stuff where they're like, what's up with this number or something like that. It's not as weird and dumb as I make it sound, but it is very brown paper Sharpie kind of videos.
What?
Okay, that's a very bad description. I'm literally just describing what they do.
Like he draws on brown paper with a Sharpie?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that was some weird terminology I'd never heard of.
No, I mean, I made it sound like it's some weird terminology, but it's really not. It's just what they do.
Okay. Gotta make it confusing.
Yeah, way to make it confusing, just like math.
Woo.
Gosh.
The word even makes me think of my friend Steven.
Steven?
Yeah, because it rhymes. Well, yeah. When I first met him, he was going by Steve, but then when I met him the second time, he was going by Steven. Interesting. Yeah.
Anything else about this Steven?
He's a writer. I think he lives in Seattle.
Seattle?
Yeah.
That's a cool place.
Him and I went on a mission trip together.
Really? Okay, okay.
Yep.
Neat.
Woo. Even. What's even backwards?
Neve. I think you'd pronounce that Neve. But Neve sounds like it would have two E's. Like Neeve.
Yeah, it does.
Whereas Neve, I guess that would be neve?
Neve. I don't know.
Yeah, like it sounds like some foreign word. Neve.
Yeah, I don't know. The word even doesn't even sound like a word anymore. I'm just like, even. Yeah. No, I know, even.
We need to go down and talk about the word even. What do we talk about?
It's just such a weird word to talk about. Like,
I know, well, because it's so specific in a way, because it's random.
It's both specific and vague at the same time, I feel like.
Right, yeah. Because there is one other definition we have not discussed yet.
I can't even.
Oh my gosh, Okay, but let's actually talk about that first.
Was that the definition you were thinking of?
Kind of. Okay. It was, you used it correctly, but the inflection gave it an entirely different meaning. Mm-hmm. Okay, so with that phrase, I can't even, what does the even mean?
As in, like, I can't even do this.
Right, yeah, and it's like...
What does even mean?
Even?
I've never thought about it. I mean, I can use it, but I've never...
It's like, it's one of those words that changes a condition with the prior sentence, so to speak. Like, even if I were to do this, I can't. Or... It wouldn't help even if you did that.
Brain overload. I'm thinking too hard. There's like sparks coming out of my head.
Yeah, it's short-circuiting.
Oh no. I didn't sleep enough for this.
Yeah. You need to get more sleep.
If my brain would actually do the sleepy thing, that'd be great.
If my brain did the sleepy thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't do the sleepy thing. It's like, no, I don't want to be sleepy. And I'm like, okay, great. Guess I'll stay up and watch YouTube until 5 a.m.
Yeah.
What am I going to do when I run out of Thomas Sanders videos?
I don't know, sleep, maybe? That's a great idea.
That's really funny.
Ooh. Okay.
I only watch the videos because I can't sleep in the first place.
Right.
Yes, but that was nice.
Yeah. You watch them because you can't even sleep in the first place.
Oh. Can't even sleep.
You can't even sleep.
I can't even.
Yeah. I think I think in regards to the definition of the word, going back to that, like there's a difference between saying I can't sleep and I can't sleep even if blah blah blah, or I can't even sleep.
Oh, like I can't even sleep versus I can't sleep even if I wear earplugs.
Yeah, well, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if you say I can't sleep, then that's like a solid statement right there. Mm-hmm. But if you say I can't even sleep, then it's usually because of some other reason.
I think saying like I can't even sleep kind of implies that you also can't do other things as well.
Right. Yeah,
I can't even sleep,
Right. Yeah. Like you're trying
That's
to do
such a sadder sentence.
And you're like, I can't even do this one thing.
Yeah. Aw.
Yeah.
Even is a sad word.
Yeah. You know what? Even is the antithesis to yet.
Huh?
In the way that you can say, I can't do this yet, or I can't do this even.
I made a video about that.
Yes, you did.
Did you watch it?
I didn't, but you've talked about it enough that I kind of got the idea.
Yeah, I probably told you about it just because I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it.
Watch it. Yeah. I made little animations for it.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Ooh, okay.
My YouTube channel is B is here.
Yes, go subscribe to that.
Comment, subscribe, woohoo!
Hi guys, if you will enjoy this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell for notifications.
Oh, I forgot about the bell.
Yeah, you
gotta hit that bell.
Can't forget the bell.
Oh, the bell's the most important part.
Yes.
I don't think I even say that in my videos. Like, comment, subscribe. To me, it's annoying. I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, and like. Honestly, like, not a lot, or some people definitely do it, and I did it for a while, but nowadays, like, I just am subscribed to so many people that I just go onto my subscriptions list whenever I'm on YouTube, and I'm on YouTube enough that I can just do that.
I always forget about that. I just kind of scroll through my recommended.
Yeah.
Till I find something.
Yeah, usually what happens with me is, like, I watch certain videos enough that they will just overpopulate my recommended space. Oh. And so to actually see what I'm interested in watching sometimes, I want to find something different that I haven't watched recently. Oh, okay. That's when I use my subscriptions list.
That makes sense. Yeah. Gotcha.
It's a little weird, and I don't like YouTube's algorithm and how they do certain things.
Algorithm.
Oh boy, the algorithm. Like, it works. And I get what it's trying to do, but it really only works for a certain kind of viewer. being a person that goes on YouTube, watches a couple of videos, and then wants to find more of those videos. Mm-hmm. And so YouTube, being the genius that it is, sees that you've seen this video one time, so you probably want to see more of that video. Mm-hmm. So it puts it on your recommended.
Yeah, I know how the algorithm works.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, vaguely how the algorithm works. I don't know exactly how it works.
Right, yeah. I just, for me, I guess I just wish that the algorithm would recommend things that I haven't seen in a long time.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Because it is always just things that I've seen in the past month.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. I get that.
Yeah, like sometimes there's a YouTube channel that I haven't seen in a while and I kind of just want to watch it. You're looking for the timer?
Yeah, I can't find the time.
It's like gray.
Oh.
But also it's 2 minutes ahead of itself.
Oh.
And a bit more because I started recording earlier.
Okay, so we're at 20 minutes?
Yeah, so we
still got 10 minutes left.
Yeah. And I mean, we can...
I'll be honest, this podcast is really difficult. I don't know what to talk about.
Oh, I know.
Even. Okay. I've expressed my thoughts on the word.
The idea is that we have a random word and that starts the conversation. We talk about it and we allow that to kind of transform into other conversation topics like the YouTube algorithm.
Oh, okay.
So to speak.
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 I imagine you just like in your sleep, you're just like, so to speak.
Oh, because I say it so often?
Hey, girls. So here's something interesting.
Oh, my God. That's insulting. Oh, gosh. Now I gotta find a transition back into the podcast.
Oh, no. So we definitely just went on a tangent there.
Yeah. I mean, we always go on tangents.
Tangents are the best. Yeah, unless they're in art, in which case you don't want tangents because they create triangles and it's distracting to the viewer. Unless that's your focal point.
Right, because it creates kind of a focal point.
The problem with tangents is that they create unwanted focal points.
Right. But if it's a wanted focal point,
that's true.
There you go.
In case anyone listening doesn't know what a tangent is, it's when two objects in a... let's just say if you have a couple circles in a scene and the circles are just like barely touching each other. Yeah, that spot where they touch, that's a tangent.
Yeah.
And it's really distracting because...
And it can be any shape or form or any kind of object in the picture.
Yeah, anything really.
Even if it's just close to the edge of the picture.
Yeah, that's also weird.
Yeah, it like... And you might notice this as you kind of look around certain places, but you can tell if something has a bad design if there is something like that.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, I mean, sometimes it's good.
What's funny is the girl with the pearl earring has so many tangents in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I thought it was so funny when I first learned that was like a famous painting. Because when I first walked into that classroom, I thought it was just a college student's painting. It looked like something that a college student would make.
I don't know why it's famous.
I don't know. Like,
honestly, most art, I'm like, why is this particular one famous?
Yeah, and I mean, you could just say something about modern art in general.
Oh gosh, modern art.
Put a toilet in the middle and take a chip out of it on the side and paint a blue streak on the toilet lid.
Oh my gosh, that's so deep though.
I know it.
The symbolism of that blue streak really hit me.
Yes, it symbolizes how life is just a bunch of toilet.
I too am a chipped toilet with a blue streak.
but the chipped part of it is representing the old phrase of a chip off the old block.
Oh, a chip off the old toilet.
Yeah, exactly. Because life isn't only about yourself. It's about the people that you pass down it to. Down to you have children. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
And then the blue streak is like, your life is not just a basic off-white porcelain. It's got color in it.
Yay, color.
Be happy. And boom, symbolism. Sell that for $1 million.
That would be an interesting thing to do. Just like we both like individually come up with like random modern art pieces or something. Yeah. And then we both we swap and then, no, we just find actual random art. Yeah. And then we both come up with our own interpretation of it. That could be interesting.
That could be interesting.
It'd have to be a video though.
Oh, definitely.
We should do that.
We should do that. That sounds like fun.
It does. I want to analyze random shapes and colors.
Yeah,
and
try to find the symbolism within it. Oh, that'd be great. Oh my gosh.
That would be great. It'd be like one of those ink blot tests.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ink blot tests. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Have you ever had an ink blot test?
Not an official one.
No, I haven't either. But I find the idea of them to be really interesting. And I don't know how exactly they work. And I know there are YouTube videos on that and all at the wazoo, but I just the fact that, you know, they can show you this ink blot and they're like, what does this remind you of? And you're like, oh, it reminds me of this or whatever. And then over time they can reveal something about yourself or your past or something.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Like when I look at those things, I see a whole lot of like fairies and like crocodiles. Like there's specific things I see in a lot of different, just because the way the ink is shaped or whatever, it just so happens like, oh, that looks like a crocodile. I don't think that means anything. I think it just looks like a crocodile.
I'm also wondering if like your results will depend on how well you can imagine something. I've read an article recently over this kind of thing. I don't know if you actually tweeted it or not.
Probably not.
But it was this story that was not a story, but let me see if I can recreate it with you, because I was already given like the test or something.
Okay.
Okay. So I want you to imagine an apple. This apple is sitting on a table.
Okay.
And now a person walks by, pushes the apple.
Oh no.
And then walks away. Okay? You've imagined that? Okay. What was the table made out of?
Wood. It's a picnic table.
Okay.
It's in a park and there's like the kind of like there's sunlight, but like the picnic table that had like trees like kind of blocking the sunlight, so it made little boop doop like dapples of sunlight.
Describe the apple for me. How many leaves are on it? Are there any?
It didn't have any leaves. It was just like an apple. It was red. And it like had like a kind of a yellowish, greenish spot. Like, you know, apples are like sometimes partly red, partly like yellow. Yeah, it looked like that.
All right. Last question. Who was the person? Or describe them.
Random dude. Let's see. Well, it was a dude apparently.
Okay.
Judging by the clothing. He was wearing like dark colored pants and like a hoodie. But you didn't, it was just, because the camera was like looking at the apple, so you just kind of saw them, and they were walking like towards the camera.
Yeah, you didn't see much of that. I get that.
And then they just went, meh.
Yeah.
And then the apple went, merp, and like fell over.
Now, okay, so final question.
Yes.
Out of the things that you have described to me, how much did you think of as you were imagining it, and how many things did you have to decide when you were asked the question?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. I mean, I found it to be pretty, like I imagined it at the beginning.
A lot of stuff that you talked about, you imagined at the beginning? Yeah. And, okay, first off, it's really interesting what you personally described, because that means that you were a very imaginative person.
Yes.
At least in comparison to me.
Oh yeah, my imagination is extremely vivid.
Yeah, which is really interesting. Because when I did it, like I was able to say, okay, the apple is red, but the material of the table, maybe it was, I don't know. Like I just imagined like a basic white thing with 4 legs.
That's interesting.
I know, yeah. And then the person, like, when I had first imagined it, it was just like kind of a shadow person in a way. It was a dude, but he didn't have any like detailed features or anything, or I couldn't tell you what his clothes were unless you asked me.
Yeah, my dude was just like dark clothing, I guess, a hoodie. I don't know.
Yeah. And
although not black.
Interesting.
It wasn't black.
Like a gray.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, so like, and that just kind of goes to show that like, I don't have as vivid of an imagination as you do.
Interesting.
And I find that to be really interesting because I can visualize things. If you ask me to visualize something, I can look into that picture and be able to tell you what the details of it are if you ask me that. But I can't naturally just instantly think of that.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, and like in some people, you ask them to imagine an apple, they can't see an apple.
Yeah, that blows my mind. Yeah. I cannot imagine that because
I know.
I mean, mine is so vivid. Like, I could do whatever the heck you wanted me to do with that apple. Like in my mind, I could pick it up and rotate it and crack it open and whatever,
Yeah. And another kind of tangent off of this. I think that this kind of thing is the reason why I sometimes, or a lot of times, have trouble with lucid dreaming. And now a reason that I think that if you were to kind of go into that kind of thing, that you would be great at it. Because when you dream, your ability to imagine things directly impacts, what you see, what you feel, and what you experience. And if you can control that kind of thing, then it'll really help.
Fascinating.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, lucid dreaming is just the basic idea of being able to control your dreams in your sleep, or basically the idea of becoming aware that you are dreaming while you are dreaming, therefore being able to control it.
Mm-hmm. I've never done that.
Yeah. It's something that I've been into for a long time, but I've only had like a handful of actual lucid dreams, like less than 20. But I've been into it since like my sophomore year of high school.
Oh, dang. I didn't realize it's been that long.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been a long time.
Tiny baby Andrew.
Oh, my gosh. But yeah, I encourage people to look it up, see what it has. Honestly, what's crazy, the first time that people hear about it, some people, or let me put it like this. For some people, the first time that they hear about it, they have a lucid dream that very night.
Whoa.
Just because they now are aware of the concept.
Not me.
Yeah, well... And some people, like myself, take a lot of practice and training in order to get to the point where you can do it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Maybe if I slept more, it would help.
I mean, it certainly would. Yeah. I'm not going to go too much into lucid dreaming because I can talk about that for literally hours.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah. Anyway, I think that's about a good point to end the podcast on.
It is.
So, with that being said, thank you, everybody, for tuning into this podcast. We appreciate you listening for all the way until the end of the video.
Yes, video.
Or, well, I mean, yeah, it's a video, it's a podcast.
Oh, right, because you put it on YouTube.
Yeah, because I put it as a video on YouTube.
I got you.
But yeah, tune in to the next one, and
yes, we very much appreciate you, and we love you. Also, hi, Mom!
Oh, yeah. When I posted the first episode of this, she was actually somebody who came on and, like, said, hey, nice video, and I'm like, oh, thanks, and so, yeah. It's really interesting. It's always so weird when parents like discover a social media or something. Like my mom had discovered mine a while back, and I was like, "Oh no, she found my Twitter." But it wasn't that bad, and she hasn't really interacted much. And I mean, I love my mom. She's great. And a lot of people would agree with me. Not to brag,
dude,
but
yeah, your mom is awesome.
Yeah.
I love your mom. I miss your mom. I haven't seen her in forever.
Yeah, they actually just got back from a trip to Florida.